So glad you guys are back.
We love being here.
It's so nice to have you.
Thank you.
You always bring the best home improvement ideas. I look forward to learning something new every time. How have you been? What's new?
We're great.
Yeah.
We're good.
We threw a big party last night.
I heard.
Yes.
You had a good time?
We
It was good.
We had a great time. We had a good crowd.
And we raised some money for St. Jude, which is awesome. So that was sort of like our main point there. But yeah, it was a good time. Good turnout.
We had a little art gallery showing at the house.
Wow, fancy. Where was this?
In Guilford, Connecticut.
Very nice.
On Long Hill Road. House
Oh,
that
it's
we
in
just
Connecticut?
finished. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
as opposed to like Guilford, Texas.
well, we're not in or like,
Well, you guys do a lot of traveling, so you never know. The party could have been, across the country.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
So you have to specify.
Yes.
So we have been doing this for a couple weeks now, and each week we try to kind of zero in on a specific topic, an area of the house, something to focus on to give our viewers a little bit of an idea, as to what's trending, what are people doing in their homes. So we'll get to that in just a moment. I make you do this every time, but I do want you to give just a really quick kind of summary of what is the house that social media built.
Go for it.
No, you do it.
You do it. Come on, you had to have perfected your elevator
You've done
pitch
it
at this
a couple
point.
I did. All right, I'll do it.
And I won't
So-
speak.
It
I'll
should be
just,
smooth by now.
this is all you. Go
So
ahead.
the house that social media built is a concept that we came up with to market houses that I flip with Nicole. Nicole's the real estate agent. I'm the builder. And we get our followers involved in social media by putting votes out every week for about 12 to 14 weeks on all aspects of the build of the house. So we let them pick kitchen cabinets or countertops, paint colors, flooring, all kinds of stuff. And whatever they choose or they vote on, we give them 3 choices each week, goes into the house.
Awesome. So it's users kind of following along. You give them a couple of ideas. They vote. Whichever option gets the votes.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what goes into the renovation.
Yes.
Which is awesome because you are all, instantly seeing what people like.
Absolutely.
And then people that are, following along are getting inspired by.
And that's the
New
most
styles, new
fun part
designs.
for us. Obviously, when we are flipping these houses, we're putting them on the market. So it's really great to see sort of what's trending, what are people liking, what are people not liking.
We have a ton of engagement.
Tons of engagement.
Yeah.
And then it's obviously fun for people to come and see the house once it's completed, too. So what's happening?
Your mic. We need to find your mic.
Can you hear me?
Paul?
No, it's here. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear her?
Can you hear me now?
Went
Yeah?
surviving.
Is it good? Okay.
All right, we got to start over. No, I'm kidding.
You're just
That's
talking to my mic.
live. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. Thank you, though.
Okay.
So it's great. It's great to get the interaction. It's great for people to come to the party and see what they voted on, or in some situations they didn't vote on it, and then they actually end up most of the times liking what's in the house anyway.
They get really excited, like touching everything. I voted
for this. I voted for this. And it's really, again, a great way to sort of introduce the trends, see if they're working, people like them, and for people to actually know what to put in their homes too. Because sometimes it gets so overwhelming, when someone's doing a kitchen renovation, like which tile should I do, which cabinet should I do. So this at least sort of helps guide them too, which is fun. I mean, we had that one gentleman last night. Remember, he was going to do a different tile in his kitchen, and then he came in. And
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
so it's fun.
When you see it all come together, you start to realize, oh, I didn't know it was going to look like that. It looks good. Some people are indecisive, or they're just not good at designing, or redoing parts of the home. I go to the store and I look at all the tiles, and I don't know.
You get
It's
overwhelmed.
This one looks good. This one looks good.
Yeah, for
all right.
sure.
So today we're going to talk about flooring.
We are.
Super important, right?
It is, and
Super
it's interesting because I feel like it's something that's extremely overlooked, but can definitely change the look and the feel of the house, and also just different rooms too. I feel like call for different flooring. So in my mind, it's super important, but again,
Outside of the bathrooms, we try to play with it on each house. We have kind of a standard that we have for the base, but we played up with different rooms, different levels, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you guys brought some ideas.
We did.
Let's pull up the first one. Let's see what we've got here, and you guys can walk us through this.
So this is a house that we have in Cheshire. It's a beautiful family room that was off the back of the house. It was an addition, and we decided to put carpeting down, mostly because it's like a family space. We figured that there would probably be some children. It's a little bit warmer.
It's warmer.
there's no real foundation under this room either, so it does sort of allow for there to be like a warmer space.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't use carpet too often.
We don't.
And this particular carpet, I think Nicole picked it out. It's really, really cool. It's got a little bit of a pattern to it.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like a typical carpet. that
No,
you
I
see.
like using pattern, especially because I feel like carpeting, sometimes people think it's kind of like the cheap way, but you can really get some nice patterns. I like to use Shaw a lot. They have some really nice, like, intricate details in their flooring. Really not that expensive either, but it
Okay.
does give you a little bit something additional to like look at, which I like.
Right.
The rest of that house has oak hardwood. That's a dark stain. We did a ebony stain on it. So.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are doing away with carpet because, to your point, they think it's cheap. But there are some areas in the home where it's nice to have
100%.
a comfortable
Yeah, I mean, some people prefer it in their
floor,
bedrooms. It's funny. I feel like as soon as we put a carpet in the bedroom, everybody wants hardwood floors. Then we do hardwood floors,
Yeah.
everybody wants carpet. But yeah, I mean, in this space, it worked out really well. I like having it in like a master.
Lots of people like it in their
but-
bedrooms when they
yeah.
get up.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
always soft and warm.
Right,
So there you
yeah.
go. Let's see what else we have. What's next here? All right. Ooh.
Oh, that's the house. That
This is the house that we had the party at last
Last
night.
night.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I wish I was invited.
So this. Oh, you
is
were,
awesome.
weren't you? You didn't send the email. You
I
sent it to everybody
did.
else, but Maggie.
I did. Maggie, you were
No,
invited.
this home is gorgeous.
This
I
is
mean,
a
this
fun.
just one
This was
area,
a
but it's
really
stunning.
yeah. This was an old farmhouse.
Wow.
This too was an addition off of. It's an 1850 farmhouse. This was an addition off of the side. The gentleman actually was using it as a dentist's office, so we turned it into a family room. And again, we wanted to do something a little bit different here, mostly because this is the primary entrance into the house in our minds, because it's right near the garage.
It's sunken. It's 2 steps down
Yeah.
from the rest of the main
So
floor.
we decided to go with, it's actually a porcelain tile. It actually mimics a little bit of a, it looks a little bit like a cement.
Looks like almost
Yeah.
kind of like dirty wash concrete.
Concrete, yeah,
Okay.
concrete. But concrete just, gosh, you wouldn't want to spill anything on concrete. So we went with the porcelain tile here. But again, it really sort of gives you a wow factor.
It does.
Obviously a little bit cooler in the room
It is a
because
little
of it.
cooler.
But obviously if you slop in there with muddy shoes,
It allowed us to do that ceiling, which we probably wouldn't have been able to do if we had
That's
hardwood in
nice.
there.
So
yeah, it would have been
cool.
too much wood. Wood on the
much
ceiling,
wood.
wood on the floor.
So those tiles are, it's the first time we've ever done this, they're 4 feet wide.
I was just
4
going to
feet
say
by
they
two.
look
They're
they look
massive.
large.
It looks really cool in the
Well,
house.
and when you're there in person too, because they're so large, you actually can see more of the grouting edge in this photo, but it almost just makes it look like it's like one big
Yeah.
mass.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
that was a fun room to do. And again, we don't use tile that often, but in that room,
Oh, not on the floor,
it
in the
really
bathrooms.
called for it. I think again because it was sort of the main entry, and it just made the most sense to just run it throughout instead of just
Right.
like in the entry there.
So I have to ask you a question about tiles,
Yes.
specifically size. Is there a rule, say you have a space that you want to at least create the illusion that it's larger, should you opt for a bigger tile, a smaller tile? Is there an impact? Is it going to change
So
how the room feels?
oh gosh, yeah. I think
Yeah.
it'll absolutely change how the room feels.
And the direction of the tile, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially in a bathroom.
For sure, yeah. I mean, running it in a certain, if they're a wider tile, running it obviously in the direction that you want to make that space feel wider or longer, or however you want to
If
run
someone's doing it and they go to a really good tile person, they'll lay it out for you. We do that now. We have our tile person sketch the room, the entire room, so that we
Yeah.
have it to hand off to our installers.
The only real difference when you get into a smaller tile is there's a lot more like grout lines.
Right.
So if you're okay, sort of like penny tiles, for instance, like you see a lot of grout, it gets a lot more busy. Again, the thing that was great about that room was that that wasn't really, the flooring wasn't meant to be the feature, and that's why we went a little bit larger so that our
Bigger,
grout
right.
grout line was smaller.
I wouldn't have
ceiling,
done
oh my
smaller
gosh.
tile in that room. It would just be too hard to clean it.
No, yeah, and
Maybe
we
it's
don't
open.
ever do square tiles either. We'll stack. I mean, obviously with these ones we stacked, but I try to stay away from like 12 by 12 tiles. I think they're a little at this point a little dated.
Swears dated, yeah.
No, it worked so well.
Yeah, no, this one it was fine. I actually was a little disappointed that we didn't do it in a stagger, but it all sort of came together. Because again, in this situation, we didn't really want the floor to stand out. But it's interesting because I feel like it actually got more compliments last night than your ceiling did.
The floor did?
Yes.
That's because nobody looked up.
Up. they looked at that beautiful chandelier we have there. That actually
yeah.
looks
Is
like
that what that is? I was
Yes,
gonna ask
it
what
looks
that
kind of
might
like
It's an
a.
LED.
It looks like-
It looks like a
contemporary.
spaceship a little bit.
something. I wasn't sure. Some
That is.
kind
That's
of
a
orb,
beautiful
but-
light
Cool.
fixture. It's awesome. Yeah.
It
Beautiful
fits
room.
perfectly in that room.
No, it's gorgeous. I love what you guys did with that. All right, let's see what else we have in the mix here because we have some stunning. Yeah, there's a couple of these photos.
Yeah,
I
so
believe, right?
there's this picture and then also the next picture of
So
the
maybe we
dining
can
room
kind of
space.
flip-flop
Yep.
between the two. There you go.
This was a house that we did in Guilford. These floors actually were a vote. Our followers voted on
see?
these floors, and these ones actually are bamboo. This was maybe the only time we've ever used bamboo.
We used to use it years ago, but bamboo's come a long way, and that's why we wanted to show this to you. So that wood, old bamboo is soft, and it depends on how they cut it. This is really, really hard bamboo.
Yeah.
And it comes a little bit thicker. I think it's, so typical flooring is 3/4. That's a little bit thinner than.
Was it thinner or
wood.
thicker?
It's-
Now you're
it's
talking out of two
thinner,
sides. It's
thinner,
thinner?
yeah,
You
thinner,
sure?
yeah.
You're gonna,
But it's-
that's your final answer?
Thinner.
Okay.
You actually have to have a special gun to nail it down.
Wow.
But that was wide, and it had a little bit of a texture to it.
Okay.
Which was really, really nice in
Yeah.
that house.
That was the first time that we've used bamboo. Usually, again, like Mike was saying, we typically go with a hardwood, like an oak flooring. But that's what the voters wanted, and it came
I
out.
love
It
it.
came out beautiful. Yeah,
Is
it was
that
a little
the
bit
natural color?
No,
is
it was.
stained?
No, it was-
It was a pre-finished flooring.
Yep.
Okay.
That was a pre-finished flooring.
Pre-finished flooring comes from the factory. You can get a 50-year warranty on that.
Yes.
Wow.
It has a baked-on powder-coated finish. So
I love it. I love it. And you're saying it is durable.
that stuff is rock hard.
Yeah, I actually believe that this is much more durable than even an oak.
It is, and,
Yeah.
and because of the factory finish, a typical hardwood floor, you get 3 layers of urethane. That probably has 8 or 10 layers on
my.
it, all heated.
How about the
heat treated.
cost? Is this something that's a little bit more expensive?
No, that flooring was not expensive at all. Actually, I think I
Even
paid.
better.
Yeah, I probably paid under $2 a square foot for it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Which is great because just to refinish hardwood floors is usually like $1.25 a
Yep.
square
Sure,
foot to
sure.
do. So
It looks like it's expensive. It looks
Well,
really
good. Hey.
nice.
Yeah,
No,
that
I
was a
love
social
it.
media house.
That was a
last
social media
summer,
house,
last
yeah.
spring.
Gorgeous.
that was a
really
fun
nice.
one.
All
Good
right.
colors.
I think we have a few more
Yep.
photos that you guys sent along. Is this is different, right?
That's a house in Madison.
Yes,
Okay.
so this was a social media house too. So this is a basement. We try really hard to stay away from carpeting in basements, mostly because it can't, obviously it's a little bit more damp.
Good
Right,
damp.
possibility of damp is obviously much larger.
This house had carpeting down there. We took it out. It really smelled
It's
musty.
bad. It's bad. Ideally, in my mind, you would want a tile in the basement because it just keeps the must smell down. But this is actually a laminate. This was a really nice.
I was just going to ask. Okay.
Kind of more
It is.
expensive laminate, which again is sort of my second pick to tile for a basement usually.
It's a staggered wood floor look, so there's no seam, there's no running seams. It looks really, really beautiful. We've used it probably 2 or 3 times.
No, this
Yes.
looks sharp. I love it.
No, it's great. And again, it's easy to clean. Obviously, there was a door out the back, so there was going to be, obviously some foot traffic going in and out of there. But yeah, no, we usually stick to a laminate in the basement, again, just because it's just so much better when it's
Any
there's a damp
basement in
space.
New England, you always run the risk, even if it's small, of water.
Sure.
Either coming from the outside or toilet overflows or something like that.
Or it just with humidity.
With humidity comes through the concrete.
Yeah, it just you
That's a good
gotta
point.
yeah. So
Looks like laminate, and correct me if I'm wrong, has come a long way.
yes.
It's come a long
I'm
way.
seeing a lot
Yeah,
of looks
yeah,
that,
and you can actually you can get some really like expensive
Yeah.
laminate.
it's not just the cheaper
No,
option
it's
anymore.
not. I mean, unfortunately, I think it still has that stigma. Like, I would never put a laminate. We would never run a laminate like on our main floor.
You can't
or
tell the
anything.
difference between that and a floating click floor. They look almost identical.
Really? See?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was glued, but sometimes I don't use them, but they click together. They just float over the surface.
I can't tell that this is a basement.
Oh, good.
It looks like
Thank
just
you.
another room in
yeah,
the house.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the pole there, it
That's a house in Madison that was a social media house.
looks
was.
really nice. It looks bright.
I think they
and
actually
the
voted on
floor
that
is
floor,
just
too.
elegant. It's very nice.
Thank you.
I love it. All right, I think we have maybe one more, 2 more. Yes, this is the one. Okay. At first I saw this photo and I wasn't sure if that was like a decal kind of thing
It
or
is.
painted on?
It was painted. They're
This
not
is the same house, actually,
Yes.
with that basement.
No kidding.
So this
I love
was this was a sitting room off of the master originally. Mike had these wild visions that he was going to be like watching television in his master bedroom, and I was like, no, we need a master bathroom suite. So that's why there's that fireplace in there, and it did have hardwood. It actually had like 5-inch. It had wide.
It had wide
had
pine.
wide plank flooring. Which obviously maybe isn't ideal to have wood in a bathroom, but in this situation, we decided that we wanted to paint it just to make it feel a little bit less piney, because sometimes piney is just, I don't know, I feel like it dates the house.
It was the most
a
fun
little
we've
bit.
had with the floor, really.
Yes, so we painted it, and then actually in this house too, our followers picked which design they wanted us to put on the floor. So
Those
we
are
did.
hand-painted
They
on
were
there. They're
hand-painted.
stenciled.
Yeah,
Oh
it was a
my.
stencil. So
It was a big job because we had
so
to
cool.
paint it, sand it, paint it. Then we put the decal on, and then we urethane over everything.
right.
What a fun idea. I
Oh,
would
it
never
was
think
great.
to do a design like that
was
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the floor, but that's amazing. Where do you guys get your ideas from? Where does this stuff come from? I'm so
Sometimes it's like
impressed.
Pinterest.
Yeah?
We have a great Pinterest page that I'm constantly pinning to. Mike and I.
Hours of the night, my phone's beeping.
Yes, 'cause
Nicole.
I send a lot of things through Instagram.
Sure.
I mean, Instagram is such a fabulous place to get ideas, or again, there's just so much imagery on Instagram. I love it. So between Pinterest, Instagram, sometimes I'll
Restaurants.
just like. Oh yes, that wood ceiling in that.
It was a restaurant.
We went to a restaurant in Old Saybrook, and we
Saybrook.
loved the wood ceiling. So you're just like, we're constantly looking. You know, if we're eating lunch, we're looking. If we're at someone's house, like we're looking, we're taking pictures. We're constantly sharing or trying to save them somewhere. And every once in a while, like, oh, remember that picture that I sent you 8 months ago?
Yes.
We need to do that in this house. And
need
then
to do
we're all
that,
like
yeah.
flicking through trying to find that picture.
We got some ideas down in Texas. We might try one, like on a wall texture.
Yes.
It's interesting because what's trending here is not necessarily trending down there.
Right.
Really?
No, it's
Okay.
kind of it's
Different style?
totally different style.
Well, yeah, just everything's different. Like they have no basements. I mean, gosh, I
That's true.
couldn't sell a house up here without a basement. I feel
Right,
like they're
right.
Every house has
impossible.
masonry, and up here there's no masonry.
Yeah.
What is like the Connecticut vibe, the Connecticut style, if you could?
Style?
Yeah. What do you think we like here?
Well,
that
we
maybe
definitely
is-
like, people love basements. They love a finished basement, or
Man caves.
like they love finished. They like to go underground.
You're right.
They
So true.
love, everybody
you're right.
Are you
loves
finishing the basement?
going-
I never really
No.
thought about that.
Yes.
No.
Oh, that house has
Does
a
it
finished
have a finished basement? Like, I want to finish. Can it be finished? Are the ceilings high enough to finish? I feel
Yeah.
like everybody. You won't even buy a house now that doesn't have a basement.
Oh, I won't buy a house without a basement.
No.
Not
See?
okay.
He had one house once in Guilford years ago that didn't have a basement, and it sat on the market forever because people for whatever reason like to go underground.
That's funny. It's things that I just never really thought about because every house I've been to has a basement.
basement.
And a lot of them are finished, and
Right.
people love to have that part.
They
of the
do.
Well, the basement lets you do things like to the main floor. You can change your floor plan, but
Yeah.
in Texas, your floor plan, that's it.
Right. That's it.
You want to move
Yes.
those pipes, you got to jack them out. Get 'em
Right,
out.
right.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's all concrete.
Interesting. All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Great.
Sadly.
Thank you for having
We
us.
could
That
keep
was
talking
quick. I feel like it
for
goes
a long
quick.
time. I know, right?
So quick.
Great ideas. Thank you so much for bringing those photos in. Hopefully,
thank you.
folks watching were inspired by something you saw. If you have any questions for Mike or Nicole, just comment below. If we don't get back to them immediately, we will soon. They're always on social media. And you guys will be back soon, right?
We will.
back.
Yeah, a
So-
couple weeks.
Excited.
Back.
Can't wait to see you again.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping by
Thank
as always.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Bye,
Have a great
guys.
weekend, everyone.